Not me currently waiting for Wooly, my guinea pig, to stop drinking water so we won't hear his water bottle. Oh. Okay, I think he's done. Oh, can you all hear that? I'm just gonna continue regardless of if you hear stuff. If you hear guinea pig noises, I'm so sorry. It's kind of just inevitable, but... Hi, hello, I'm Chrissy. Welcome back. We have McKween video number 3. Now, before I get into it, I'm not sure if all the McKween drawings, the Drawtober challenge, will stay in the month of October. I think a couple might spill out of the month of October, but we're gonna have all of them. Just wanted to clarify that, okay? So if October passes and I haven't gotten all the videos up, it's just because I'm taking time editing and doing voiceovers and stuff like that. We have the next 3 prompts for days 8, 9, and 10. Our prompts in order are Corpse, Moss, and Nightmares. This is actually the first time I've done the prompts in order off the list with the days. I know sometimes I like to jump around, but this time we did it in order. Before I get into anything, I want to give a small warning. The first drawing with the prompt Corpse has a blood warning. It's no heavy gore, but just in case, if you are sensitive to that kind of art, I urge you to just skip it. The other 2 drawings will be good. Second one's really cute, and then the third one is fine, just like a fun drawing. If you don't already know, I have started doing my own Drawtober prompts called McKween, you know, because McKean is funny. I came up with it, clearly. Here is the prompt list if you would like to tag along. I do 1 drawing daily based on a prompt I have chosen. If you want to see each individual drawing in a speed draw format without me talking, you can find those on my Xtra channel, and if you would like to see the raw footage of my art with the background music, you can find that on my Uncut channel. Also, I am really trying to get monetized at some point, so sticking around for the whole length of the video helps my watch time, so stick around if you would like to support me that way. I mentioned in the last video that we are just sticking to digital art, so no traditional art in this video, just digital. Keeping on theme, we will continue to do character-based art. Like always, all these characters belong to me, and all 3 today have been designed by me. So no redesigns or app character created or art traded characters. These are all just original Chrissy characters. Now with all of that out of the way, I think we can jump into the first prompt speed draw. Our first prompt number 8, is Corpse. Featuring the first character of the day, we have Mayflower. Now this is the drawing with the blood warning, just to mention prior. This is my second designed spider character ever, which I actually thought I had 3, but I only have 2. I have my Sabrina and then Mayflower, and I really want to do different spider characters, but make their anatomy all completely different. So Mayflower has like the half top body as regular humanoid anatomy. Sorry, I'm really bad at explaining this. She's the top part of human anatomy, and the bottom part is spider anatomy. And then my character spider Sabrina, she has human anatomy but has spider legs growing out of her back. So I don't know, I just think there's something that I want to do with different spider characters that's just gets more and more interesting with different anatomy. So I will be designing more spider characters, but I'm rambling. Let's get back to the drawing. May is a little unique. She is my only ever zombie spider character. I designed her randomly one day. I don't think I had any inspiration for her other than I wanted to grow my collection of spider characters, which I still do, but because I am terrified of the spiders. So I thought creating some fun characters would make me feel a bit better with my fear. Though May really doesn't get much attention. I haven't really gotten to know her as a character very well, and I thought this drawing would help me a little bit. Her overall character design is good, but I remember designing her and creating her and being like, this is a really cute character, but there's the water bottle. You know what, I'm gonna go get my boy some veggies. I'll be right back. Okay, now that the room gremlins have been appeased and will no longer be a distraction or annoyance, I think I was saying, Mayflower, when I designed her, she's a good character. there's nothing about her currently that I'm just like seriously interested in. You know what I mean? Like, usually when I design a character, there's something about it that like clicks or fascinates me, or just something that gives them that uniqueness. But right now, Mayflower is kind of just a background character. She's just chilling. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But you know, sometimes that just doesn't give way for like fun or creative art. But the prompt being corpse, I wanted to do a drawing with her spider legs curling around her and flowers growing from her mouth. Almost like as she was dying, her body used its last energy to bloom the last flowers she would ever grow. Instead of creating webbing, she grows flowers and vines. I thought that would be interesting to see a little more of. The idea that she's a zombie character but still creates life from her is kind of funny. Unfortunately, this drawing didn't turn out exactly perfect. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's bad. Just sometimes I overestimate myself. Certain characters come easy to me when drawing, but May just doesn't come out in this drawing. All of her elements and colors are there, but I'm not getting exactly her, you know? I have struggled to determine exactly her body type and face structure, so that certainly didn't help. However, I still think this drawing was the right step. Next time when I draw her, I am hoping this art will help me determine what I like and what I don't like. Plus, I don't think I am giving her enough credit. She is a cute character and has potential to be really interesting design and story. I just haven't found that yet. I remember drawing this and Katie walking in and I was sketching it, and she was stared at my drawing for a while, and she was like, I was so confused because I thought this was a drawing of you and your character. So I was now I'm like annoyed because I'm like, well, if it looks like me, I don't want it to look like my character. I want it to look like Mayflower. So we're just not getting her essence. Overall, this drawing may be lacking a bit on technique and overall art skill. The concept is still good, and I think that is the most important part of these prompt drawings. Something I should have put more effort into was my sketch. Since her legs came over her body and she has her flowers coming out of her mouth, I didn't bother drawing an underlay sketch, meaning I just figured I could skip drawing all of the features hidden under her limbs and flowers. I pretty much am admitting that I was lazy, and that clearly shows. At least to me, the drawing doesn't come across the way I want because I didn't put the effort in. If I had done a sketch, a clear, thought out, and planned out sketch, I wouldn't have had this problem. So I guess that goes to show you putting in the extra effort can be worth it. This drawing isn't bad, like I've said, but if I had put in the extra effort, I would have been able to enjoy this drawing more. So it's not always about technical abilities or art skill. Sometimes it's just working on a piece until you personally feel that it is up to your standard or quality or just overall how it makes you feel. Because I mean, yes, while we can look at art skill and technicality, which this drawing lacks on a lot of levels, if I would have drawn it and it would have made me feel good and I felt good drawing it and I would have liked the end result, that really all that mattered in the end. My line art could have been sloppy, but if the drawing itself made me accomplish my goal, then that would have been fine. Luckily for me, my goal was more composition than it was anything, because I like to accomplish compositional pieces in prompt work. Since I am dealing with a character, I don't just want to just draw a character that fits a certain prompt and not do a fun compositional idea, I guess, if that makes sense. If I'd put in the extra effort, I would have been able to enjoy this drawing more, maybe even enjoyed Mayflower more and gotten to know her character better. Looking at the actual drawing part of it, the line art is good, colors are good, and the shading isn't my best work, but it does work for the drawing. that's all I have to say for this one. Some of these drawings and or characters I won't have much to speak on, considering this is just a simple half body and a character I have only drawn now twice. I don't have much to say other than I'm at least glad we got through another prompt with a fun composition idea executed in a way that gets the drawings idea across. That is all I can really hope for in most drawings, is that my main theme, idea, and composition comes through in my art. Our second prompt number 9, is Moss, featuring the second character of the day. We have Bitsy. This is the cutest character we will have throughout this whole month, you guys. I am telling you, it just doesn't get any cuter than Bitsy. And before anybody mentions it, yes, I did choose Pokemon music for the background because I just feel like that energy fits her. Like, the positive, cheerful Pokemon music is just perfect. Like, the constant bicycle theme, like, stuck in your head, like, it's just, I don't know, it just works for her. This is another drawing of a character I actually, 1, have not designed officially, and 2, have not drawn digitally. So we get to explore this together. She also didn't have a name till I finished the drawing and was talking to Katie, and I mentioned I kind of wanted to have a little spider character named Bitsy, like Itsy Bitsy Spider, you know, yeah, you get it, but felt like I just couldn't pass up on the opportunity to name her Bitsy, so here we are, and Katie had agreed that I should name her Bitsy, so I went ahead and did it, but I'm pretty sure the name will stay. Since this is a prompt drawing, I should probably mention the prompt and why it's relevant. Honestly, with the prompt Moss, I kind of just wanted to work on background-esque stuff. I don't do backgrounds often, and when I do, they're usually unplanned and sloppily drawn. So with this one, I wanted to do a full background, but have her sitting in a setting, if that makes sense. I haven't found my footing around how backgrounds look in my art style. Usually when I do a background, it tends to be stuff that isn't lined and just really like painterly style just thrown there for the idea of what I want for a background, but I have a hard time envisioning really what I want. So this was a good opportunity to find out how I would want to go forward with doing more backgrounds in the future, and I highly recommend, if you are someone who doesn't know how to do backgrounds or just only works on characters, I always find doing any type of floral scenery easiest when practicing or warming up. Drawing natural flowers and plants are easy because of their simple shapes and patterns. Plus, you can draw a flower without a reference and it still look like a flower, you know? It's not really important to the drawing if it's a specific plant or flower, just as long as it looks pretty and dynamic. That's all that matters to me, at least. Of course, I added moss onto the rocks and tree stump to complete the prompt challenge. Bitsy had great colors that paired with this background, so colors were not an issue. Though it did take me a couple attempts to nail her colors down, since the only color reference I have for her is a colored sketch in my sketchbook. Carrying that over, I did a good job expressing Bitsy as a character. She is a small, dainty little lady, quiet and content with her life, enjoying her, I don't know, a mango, a rainbow pear. I don't know. I drew what looked like a fruit, to be honest. The lighting on this being a warm yellow made it really cozy, a nice atmosphere where it complements all her colors. She is my first official designed bug type character, other than my spider characters, but I'm not even sure if they classify in the bug category. Is that stupid of me? I feel like spider and bugs are like two different categories in and of themselves. Okay, but she was the first bug designed character, and I did design her off an actual type of beetle, I think. I had it on Pinterest but forgot to save it, so we will never know. Since the first drawing's downfall was its base sketch, I made sure to set myself up for success. I went out of the way to make sure I would know exactly where the line art goes and not just wing it when it gets time to lining it. Of course, it took me extra time, but it was well worth it. I mean, when you have such a cute character like Bitsy, you gotta do her justice. I mean, like, you can't just draw Bitsy badly. Bitsy just deserves so much more than that. I cannot express to you the importance of a sketch though. If your base is not good, then the chances of the drawing process to go smoothly is practically out the window. If you put in the extra effort to get the foundation perfect, you can only make the drawing more structurally sound. If you are sketching and the drawing just isn't getting to the way you want it, there's absolutely no shame in coming back to it another day. Some days I just can't make my drawing ideas happen. It's just not for that day. It's okay to acknowledge it. It's healthy to acknowledge it. Please acknowledge it when you can't do something. And there is no shame, and you are not any less of an artist if you can't draw a certain particular thing. When I acknowledge that I do not have the skill set or mental strength to draw this today, that's when I can move on and come back stronger. You never know, maybe the next day something will click for you and suddenly you can draw hands, building, cats. I don't know, anything you may be struggling with drawing now won't always be impossible for you to draw. My style used to consist of big eyes and ears, no nose or hands, just arms with stumps, and that was okay. I moved on and grew as an artist, and now my style has developed, and yes, now there are still things I'm learning to draw. So just look at Bitsy and her little mango and know it isn't impossible, okay? I hope I am motivating someone right now. I feel pretty motivated. I definitely want to work more on backgrounds, just like developing my style. It's going to take a long time, and I mean long time, and sometimes it's painfully long. But I guess that just goes without anything you want to practice and learn, you know? I do love the scenery here with the line art look. I don't know if I'll go into doing backgrounds with line art or not, but you know, this was a good step in the right direction. And you know what? Really good drawing. Come on now. The sketch was good, line art was good, colors were good. Shading, I loved. It took forever though, actually. Like I got to the shading and I'd take a break in the middle of shading because I was just like, sometimes it's just, shading's too much. Shading's like the quickest part, except no, I'd say shading, sketch, coloring, and coloring is the quickest. But I guess it determines on what you're drawing. But the sketch and coloring and shading are like very similar times, and then the line art just takes so long. If you're ever curious. But that is all for our prompt moss. This was a good floral scenery drawing. I am not sure which is my favorite drawing among the three, but this one is sure up there. Our third prompt and last prompt is prompt 10, which is Nightmares, featuring, once again, Void, and now my character Joe. Before you mention how Joe looks like me, my avatar character, me, hi, hello, Chrissy, as a dragon, it's because, yeah, she is my character, but her dragon form. Good eye, you nailed it. And also the background music is from the game Little Nightmares. That was not on purpose. It was just the first horror game OST I could think of, and I found that amusing. Anyway. Okay, now, I know that on first glance this drawing doesn't look like it would fit the category nightmares, but I feel like this prompt word is really tailored to who's drawing it. Nightmares look different for everybody, of course, and it isn't something that can be drawn specifically or be artistically defined, at least in my opinion. We can get close and represent our own specific nightmares or even dreams, but we can't ever be able to capture that for everybody. It may be artistically defined in a sense for you, but that definition doesn't go for everybody. You know, Just like how some drawings just aren't for everybody, you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea. So this prompt I took more personally. All my art is personal to me, but when I get to insert myself and my character into it, there's something more there, which whenever I do insert my character into a drawing and then I talk about it, I do get a little cautious because, one, I don't want to say the wrong thing where it's not my intention to say something, because sometimes I'm trying to explain something, but I explain it in a terrible way. And you know, I guess there's just something more personal, like if someone were to critique that art, it's just like a little more intimidating to share, I guess, if that explains it. I'm just very wary about explaining things with my characters in it, because, I mean, people can give their opinion all they want, but at the end of the day, it's my art and my character in it, and it's how I'm choosing to express that. Take what you will from that. I'm just cautious about putting myself out there. If you haven't watched my second McKween video, you should at least go back and watch prompt 4. There I talked about my character Void in depth and explained a lot more about him. So if you want to hear about that and be informed about him, go watch. Because I am going to be talking about him. If not, that's fine, but if the rest of what I am about to say confuses you, I apologize. Not only are my thoughts and emotions confusing to explain to you, they are harder to explain to myself. Now, the prompt Nightmares, I knew I wanted to include Joe and Void. Void has this certain way of getting to me in a vulnerable state. My character Chrissy, hi, hello, that's me, tends to get very overwhelmed and in a state of vulnerability. My fight or flight tends to kick in with anxiety and fear. Void is a voice in my head that manifests itself and can actually take over. He can't take over physically, but mentally he can pack a punch. Joe is also me, but my character in her dragon form. My character's magical ability on show, she can transform into this character. However, most, if not all, her powers are controlled and determined on her emotions and skill of controlling them, or lack thereof, because, you know, Lord knows I can't control my emotions, or just my thoughts in general, but we're not going to talk about that. Nightmares is such a good prompt because Void tends to be one of my biggest things I fear, or just he brings on a lot of the things I fear. Considering he is a shapeshifter, I mean, the fact he could shapeshift into like something I fear is, you know, not the craziest thing to believe. I am someone who has nightmares and dreams every night. My subconscious is very loud. I call the room in my mind my Mindscape. Now, I wasn't going to get into lore or any serious storytelling, but I figured now is just as good of a time to tell this to you because it will also help me learn about it as well, if that makes sense. So, you know what, sometimes these videos are for me to kind of explain and explore characters, so it's fun. Mindscape is like that box in your head where you can imagine anything. Almost like when I tell you to close your eyes and imagine a pink star, that is the space and area in which the mindscape exists. The conscious and subconscious are a part of this, meaning this is also where dreams and nightmares take place. You know, daydreams and maybe like hallucinations even. Nothing here that takes place is real, but its mental actions do have physical consequences. Everything here feels real. Many characters and spirits manifest themselves in the mindscape, including Void. So the idea is that since Void is a voice in my head that pushes me into a negative spiral, that he could, in fact, influence my dreams and nightmares into whatever he wants. It's not an impossible idea. I don't know about you guys, but when I have an anxiety or a panic attack, all of my rational thinking goes out the window. I would say my fight or flight kicks in, but it isn't a fight nor flight. It's just a struggle of choosing, like in a fog of a dilemma, like what do I do now to stay alive? Like what is actually happening around me? To me, this drawing is a state of that question. Here, Joe's expression isn't as panicked, but maybe experiencing more paranoia, fear, general confusion, She is in the heat of it, and in the middle of her nightmare, she's trying and failing to think rationally, with Void urging her to choose a path of self-destruction. It's all, and this is actually the best word for it to express, overwhelming. Sometimes choosing the right thing isn't as clear as we would like it to be. I think nightmares express that road less taken or traveled. Actually, it's the road that says turn around and never look back. No one wants to go down that road. No one chooses to go down that road, yet we still think about what's down that road. What could possibly be so bad until we come up with the biggest fear-driven idea of what could possibly be down that road. And then we decide if, one, we should go down that road just to see what could possibly be so bad. I mean, it can't be as bad as I'm imagining it. Or two, don't go down that road because whatever fear-driven idea I've just come up with is good enough to scare me to not go down that road and continue to the road we're currently going on. Sometimes there are physical nightmares where we go down the forbidden road, and sometimes there are mental nightmares we would just decide to ignore the forbidden road, but the idea still follows us. I love the image detail of Void's eyes on Joe's. Not only does her colors change, which, if you don't know, Joe's colors aren't these colors. I changed her color palette to match Void's. But not only does her colors change to his, but the fact that her eyes are glowing as if he is showing her something in her vision that he is controlling just to scare her to death. It's what his character is about. And as pretty and colorful as this drawing seems to be, the idea we can't even see the real nightmare is just... Now that's art, okay? Being able to create something there and yet still not showing it. Sometimes it's not about what is there, but about what is not there. Like what we are not seeing, and that's the nightmare. We are just witnessing the active reactions of it. That's the basis of this drawing. And I do think it's fun that Joe and Void are both looking at the viewer and looking at that nightmare as if they're looking past the viewer at something or at the viewer. I don't know. There's just something so fun of, you know, there's something wrong happening, but you just don't get to see that, and you just get to see the reactions. I don't normally pat myself on the back, but like, y'all, I keep bringing the fire, you know, like I bring it to you every Tuesday. I am very pleased with this drawing, and the fact we get some character lore and explanation in it makes my little artist heart soar. That is all for this prompt, though. Let me know if you would like more of Joe and Void. In fact, let me know if any of my characters you would like to see more of. I do have my toy house linked below in case one of you guys would like to scroll through my characters. This is all for our third McKween Drawtober video. Let me know which drawing was your favorite. Please let me know if you are doing any art in the month of October. I love seeing you guys send stuff in the Discord or to me. It's also cute. I love seeing other people's art. And with that being said, we have hit the end of the video. Thanks for sticking around. My watch time hours, thank you, and I do too. That's all I have for today. I will see you in the next round of prompts. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Let the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. And as always, God bless you and have a wonderful day.